When the youth leave TYA, they leave with a faith that is more deep and wide. They leave with a deeper love for learning.
I feel lighter and happier now than I have in a good 3 years.
They exist to wake people up and to shape them and give them life.
It's been life-changing, to be honest. Last week I felt my call to ministry.
This is the best thing I've ever been a part of in ministry.
They leave with a deeper love for learning and knowledge of God.
I'd honestly say that even though we haven't finished these 2 weeks yet, my experience has been so life-changing already.
Open your heart and prepare for worship tonight.
The most transformative experience has probably been, it was the second night during mentor groups when the Spirit of God came over me and I was finally able to get things out off my chest and off my shoulders, and people are there to catch me if I fall, and that I can actually be myself, vulnerable and weak, not having to hide behind the walls that I built. It's really put me back onto the path on which I want to be.
I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to go outside, find an object, come back in, and tell the story of that object from its point of view. Are you ready?
So, people walk by me a lot, and they see me, and they're like, maybe. No one sees how beautiful I am.
At TYA, I've experienced spiritual formation through truly becoming accepting of who I am through Christ.
Unless you turn me around and you see that they are crystals. And now I'm here in a beautiful big chapel, and I just can't help but think, what's next?
Spiritual formation is whenever you really become your own person through God, and you form your own spiritual beliefs, and you become who God intended you to be.
Okay. Thank you.
I think art provides space for the words that are hard to find, to articulate thoughts and feelings and questions. It creates space for those words to come to surface, for those thoughts and those feelings and emotions to come to surface.
One experience that really touched me was from the Arts Village, and we went to the chapel for this music session with this musician named Ken Medema, and he is blind, and he is an incredible musician who can play the piano like anybody I've ever seen, and who has a beautiful, powerful voice.
On a great tall tree, stretched way out, I'd be beautiful and big.
One of the experiences that we had is that we had to tell our life story and how we got to this place. Having our own song being created by Ken, we just opened up and poured out our testimonies, our life stories, our struggles, our trials and tribulations, and it really made us all closer, and it really showed us how all of us had started from a low place and was able to get past it and lift up into this new light. Being able to worship in this kind of community with kids who are all here for the same reasons it's really been it's just beautiful seeing all these kids, you know, around your age and in your age group, just these high school kids all coming together to worship God. It's been so eye-opening.
To comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes.
I think one of the main things that I've taken away from a lot of the plenaries and especially the mission work that we've done is that like my spiritual life doesn't have to be separate from my regular life. It's something that can be beautifully intertwined and used to do God's will and lead you to continue to do things after these 2 weeks that God calls you to do.
Right. Certain things the Catholic Church.
That's why it's called Protestant?
Protestant.
I would define Christian community as a loving, safe sanctuary where everyone can be themselves. Being in this community with all these different people has really shaped me and really opened my eyes wider. I met someone kind of that grew up in a way different way that I did, and her name's Anne.
So for me, one of the most impactful experiences I think has been being a mentor in a small group.
She grew up all around the world. Yes, she was born in Chicago, but she spent time in India, time in Pennsylvania, time in England, time in Australia.
I, in every fiber of my being, believe that each person has a giftedness and a richness in their experience. And being able to bring that into this community enhances our community. Being able to share your giftedness and your unique being with someone else enriches their being.
Theological reflection, especially the kind that happens at Texas Youth Academy, is really thinking about God in new ways and being challenged on some of our long-held beliefs.
What I want to share with you is the positive reasons why.
Being put in a place where we get to think about why we think those things and how do those things impact how we live out our faith.
I remember coming here, I was really anxious about it because it's something I'd never done anything like before. I was afraid that just I wouldn't agree with a lot of what they taught. If you think of Christianity, a lot of times you'll think of it as this faith that is very one-sided on a lot of issues.
Ordination of gays and lesbians. We disagree about that, right? Some people are in favor, some people are against. But I think more than a social issue, more than an ethical issue, more than a political issue, I think it's a theological issue.
My faith has just kind of been like, I'm a Christian. Like that's just how I've seen myself for a long time. And then coming here, you learn about all these different aspects of Christianity from all these different teachers.
You're writing up your story, right? What if there's contradictory evidence? You know, the witness says one thing, the victim says something else, the police say something else. Who are you going to believe?
And it's a really intriguing thing.
When TYA's work is done, we have young disciples who go out into the world, increasing beauty, the capacity of the world to love, because they've been formed and shaped and had time to reflect, to really study vocationally, be it ministry. They're a different kind of pastor, they're a different kind of doctor, a different kind of artist. because they came to TY.